When I woke up the other day, Classy said, "Hey, I want you to listen to something." And it was a podcast by the Christian Science Monitor about time. It was really interesting. They interviewed a lot of experts, and it got us thinking about our future self. Because one of the things that they said in there is that the answer to procrastination is compassion, which is kind of a startling, attention-grabbing headline because you wonder, what does compassion have to do with procrastination? And what scientists have discovered is that we don't really think about our future self in the same way that we think about ourself. And if we did, we would do things for for our future selves that we now put off. One of the studies had to do with a researcher who was trying to find out how to get people to save money for the future. And one of the ways that he found that worked was using an app that took a picture of yourself and changed it into an old person, you as an old person. It looked like a genuinely old version of yourself. And when people were able to see that, they got more compassion for that future self, like they would about a real person. And because of that compassion, they were willing to save more money. So that's the connection between compassion and procrastination, is people don't have the same, like when they do brain scans of people, and when they think about themselves, certain parts of their brains light up. And when they think about other people, certain other parts of their brains light up. And when they think about their future self, it's like they're thinking about somebody else. So exercises or an app that ages you or anything that can make you think about your future self like a real person and like you, if that's you in the future, to make that future you more real, anything that does that makes you better able to, or makes you less likely to procrastinate in the present. That was a few days ago when we listened to this and then watched some TED Talks about it. And it's really changed the way that we think about things, Classy and I. For example, I had an evening to myself and I was doing things and I started becoming aware without really even trying that some of the things I did, I will care about in a year. And some of the things I did, I won't even remember a month from now. And I was a lot more motivated to do those things that would make a difference a year from now or 5 years from now. And it didn't, the thing I liked about it is that it was unrelated to willpower or forcing. I wanted to do this thing for my future self because my future self has become more real to me by thinking about it and imagining what that future self will be like, and that it will be a that's another thing, that it has to feel like a continuation of yourself, like you, like it's not some other person. That's still going to be you there in the future. And if you can really get that connection, you have a new kind of motivation to do something for that future self. Because really, the future self is sort of helpless, sort of at your whim, at the effect of what you do today. Like you have control, and that future self doesn't have control. And there's a natural empathy and concern and responsibility that you have when somebody that you care about, or even somebody you don't even know, is helpless. You have this natural urge to help that person. Like this, one of the things that scientists believe, that our natural response to an infant is a desire to take care of that infant and look out for it and make sure it doesn't get hurt. And what we're naturally responding to is the helplessness of the infant, or a puppy, or a bird that's fallen out of a nest or whatever. We have this natural inclination to try to help something that looks helpless. Well, I've noticed that it makes a difference to me when I think of my future self as helpless to affect the present. That future self is helpless to affect the present right now where I am, but I'm not helpless. And it makes me want to help that future self, that helpless future self, which is going to be me. Anyway, it's an interesting idea and well worth exploring. If you'd like to keep up with what we're publishing, subscribe at adamleecon.com.